Hello everyone. Today, I'd like to take you on a journey through the fascinating, yet tragic tale of a bird that once graced the wetlands of Japan, crested shelduck, or as it's known in Japanese, the Konmuri tsukushigamo. This bird, which is now considered extinct, was not just a symbol of Japan's natural beauty, but also a reminder of the delicate balance of our ecosystems. Let's explore the hidden history, ecology, and unique characteristics of the crested shelduck, and reflect on the lessons its extinction teaches us today. The crested shelduck was a striking bird, known for its distinctive crest and vibrant plumage. It was primarily found in the marshlands and rivers of Japan, particularly in the Kyushu region. This bird, with its elegant appearance, was a rare sight even in its prime, making it a highly sought-after species among birdwatchers and naturalists. However, its rarity also made it vulnerable, and the pressures of hunting and habitat destruction soon took their toll. The crested shelduck held a special place in Japanese culture, often depicted in traditional art and literature. Its unique appearance made it a popular subject in paintings and poetry, symbolizing beauty, grace, and the ephemeral nature of life. Yet, despite its cultural significance, the bird's population began to decline rapidly in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, leading to its eventual disappearance from the wild. The decline of the crested shelduck was a slow but steady process. As Japan modernized and expanded its agricultural and industrial activities, the natural habitats of this bird were increasingly encroached upon. Wetlands were drained, rivers were polluted, and the once abundant food sources for the crested shelduck dwindled. Coupled with excessive hunting, the bird's numbers dwindled to the point where sightings became increasingly rare, and by the mid-20th century, it was declared extinct. I first became fascinated with the crested shelduck during a visit to a remote wetland in Kyushu. As a child, I had heard stories of this elusive bird from my grandfather, who was an avid birdwatcher. He would often recount how, in his youth, he would spend hours by the riverbanks, hoping to catch a glimpse of the crested shelduck. His stories, filled with a mix of wonder and sorrow, stayed with me throughout my life, sparking a deep interest in this lost species. Determined to learn more about the bird that had captivated my grandfather, I embarked on a journey to trace the last known habitats of the crested shelduck. My journey took me to the wetlands of Kyushu, where the bird was last seen. The landscape, though still beautiful, was marked by the signs of human intervention: concrete embankments, polluted waters, and the remnants of what was once a thriving ecosystem. It was clear that the world the crested shelduck had known was long gone. One of the most poignant moments of my journey was meeting an elderly local, who claimed to have seen the last of the crested shelducks in the 1940s. He described how the bird, once a common sight during the migration season, had become increasingly scarce. His last sighting was of a solitary bird, its vibrant plumage dulling with age, as it searched the now barren wetlands for food. This image of the lone crested shelduck, struggling to survive in a changed world, left a deep impression on me. The crested shelduck's struggle for survival was a story of resilience against insurmountable odds. As their habitats were destroyed, the birds faced increasing difficulty in finding food and safe nesting sites. The few remaining individuals were forced to compete with other species for the dwindling resources, and many fell victim to predators or the harsh conditions of the altered environment. Despite their best efforts, the crested shelducks were ultimately unable to adapt to the rapid changes in their world. The extinction of the crested shelduck had far-reaching consequences for the ecosystems it once inhabited. As a species that played a key role in maintaining the balance of the wetland ecosystems, its disappearance led to changes in the population dynamics of other species. Without the crested shelduck, certain plant species became overgrown, while others that relied on the bird for seed dispersal began to decline. The loss of the bird was a loss for the entire ecosystem, a reminder of the interconnectedness of all life. In recent years, scientists have studied the preserved specimens of the crested shelduck to learn more about its biology and the reasons for its extinction. These studies have revealed insights into the bird's diet, breeding habits, and the challenges it faced in the wild. By understanding what led to the bird's decline, researchers hope to apply these lessons to current conservation efforts, preventing similar extinctions in the future. The story of the crested shelduck has inspired a new generation of conservationists in Japan. Recognizing the mistakes of the past, these conservationists are working to protect the remaining wetlands and the species that still depend on them. Efforts are being made to restore degraded habitats, control invasive species, and implement sustainable practices that allow both nature and human activities to coexist. The memory of the crested shelduck serves as a powerful motivator for these efforts, reminding us of what we stand to lose if we do not act. One of the key lessons from the crested shelduck's extinction is the importance of preserving wetlands. These ecosystems are not only crucial for biodiversity, but also provide essential services such as water filtration, flood control, and carbon sequestration. The destruction of wetlands for agriculture and development has had devastating effects on the species that depend on them, and it is vital that we protect and restore these habitats if we are to prevent further losses. The crested shelduck story is a call to action, urging us to take responsibility for the natural world before it is too late. The crested shelduck was more than just a bird. It was a part of Japan's cultural heritage. Its image appeared in traditional art, symbolizing the fleeting beauty of nature and the inevitability of change. The bird's graceful form and vibrant colors made it a favorite subject for artists and poets, who saw in it a reflection of the natural world's delicate balance. Today, the crested shelduck lives on in these cultural artifacts, a reminder of a time when the bird still graced Japan's wetlands. In many traditional Japanese paintings, the crested shelduck is depicted alongside other symbols of nature, such as cherry blossoms and cranes. These works of art capture the bird's elegance and the harmony it brought to the landscape. However, as the bird became rarer, it also became a symbol of loss and the consequences of human impact on nature. These artistic depictions serve as a testament to the bird's once prominent place in Japan's natural world, and a reminder of the cultural loss that accompanies ecological destruction. Today, the crested shelduck stands as a symbol of the fragility of nature. Its extinction serves as a warning of the dangers of neglecting our environment and the irreversible consequences of habitat destruction. The bird's story reminds us that we must be vigilant in our efforts to protect the natural world, as once a species is lost, it can never be recovered. The crested shelduck's extinction is a tragic chapter in Japan's environmental history, but it also offers valuable lessons for the future. The extinction of the crested shelduck highlights the need for greater awareness and action in conservation efforts. As we face the challenges of climate change and habitat destruction, it is more important than ever to protect the species that are still with us. By learning from the mistakes of the past, we can work to create a future where nature and humanity can coexist in harmony. The story of the crested shelduck is a call to action, urging us to take responsibility for the world we share with all living beings. As I reflect on the story of the crested shelduck, I am struck by the sense of loss that accompanies its extinction. This bird, which once thrived in Japan's wetlands, is now gone forever, its memory preserved only in stories, art, and the few specimens that remain. The loss of the crested shelduck is a reminder of the fragility of life and the impact of human actions on the natural world. It is a story that has stayed with me throughout my life, shaping my understanding of our relationship with nature. Despite its extinction, the crested shelduck lives on in the memories of those who knew it. These memories keep the bird alive in a way that goes beyond physical existence, reminding us of the importance of preserving the natural world for future generations. As I end this exploration of the crested shelduck story, I want to leave you with a call to action. The bird's extinction is a tragedy, but it is also a lesson. It teaches us that we must take responsibility for the world we live in and that we must do everything in our power to protect the species that are still with us. The story of the crested shelduck is a reminder that we cannot afford to be complacent. We must act now to protect the natural world for the sake of future generations. The story of the crested shelduck is a poignant reminder of the impact human actions can have on the natural world. It is a story of loss, but also of hope, a hope that by learning from the past, we can create a better future for the species that remain. Let us honor the memory of the crested shelduck by working to protect the natural beauty of Japan and the incredible species that call it home. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to the channel and like the video to support our mission of sharing the wonders of Japan with the world.